Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jake Silver Show. There is a new administration in the White House. However, the same issues seem to persevere amongst American civilians. We can't seem to agree on anything, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's tariffs, whether it's our treatment of U.S. veterans, whether it's the deployment of the military in your major cities. We can't seem to agree on anything. It's the same story over and over, regardless of red or blue being in office. But there are some positives. We do seem to agree on the Epstein files being released. And we also seem to agree with the rebranding of Cracker Barrel. They've removed the cracker. They removed the barrel. And Democrats and Republicans are upset about this. I didn't even know Democrats went to Cracker Barrel. However, the rebranding of your Cracker Barrels has seemed to gain a bipartisan opinion on whether or not this was a positive thing. And people are pretty upset with their Cracker Barrel. I didn't realize this many people went to Cracker Barrel. I thought it was somewhere you stopped with your family on a road trip off of a turnpike or something. But they don't like it. The people don't like the modernization of Cracker Barrel. They don't like eating biscuits and gravy while looking at a plain white wall with some home goods knickknacks hung up on the drywall there. They much prefer somewhat dusty relics hanging from the wall, displaying America's past time. I've never been a fan of Cracker Barrel. I mean, they got some good biscuits, maybe a good chicken and dumplings meal, but that's where I draw the line. I don't really venture too far off into the Cracker Barrel menu, but Cracker Barrel is bringing us together as a country. So thank you to the CEO of Cracker Barrel for doing a horrid rebranding on a nostalgic and beloved staple in American cuisine. And the Epstein files we can agree on that they need to be released. But recently, Ghislaine Maxwell says she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. New Department of Justice documents revealed Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell told the Department of Justice earlier in 2025 that she never saw President Trump act inappropriately, according to DOJ documents released Friday of her interview. I think they were friendly, like people are in social settings. I don't think they were close friends, or I certainly never witnessed the president in any of. I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance, she told the DOJ. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. And the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects. Now, this definitely screams someone who's trying to get a pardon from the president. She just tried to paint Trump as this angel, this angelic figure whenever she was around him. She even cleared him of being in any massage setting ever. Maybe it's because she was too old to give him massages. She definitely linked him up with the girls to give him those massages. But she's completely clearing his name in this. If you can go and listen to some of these recordings from the interviews the DOJ had with her back in July, it clearly screams, "Pardon me, please, Prez, pardon me." we're looking to a child sex trafficker to give honesty in a situation where her back is literally against the prison wall, and her only hope is getting one of her old pals, Donald J. Trump, to give her a presidential pardon in this case. So she's gonna burn it down. She's got to do whatever she can to get the hell up out of a federal prison sentence. And here she is doing exactly what she needs to do. Well, like I said, Trump needs her, and this is great. This is great PR for Trump. This is exactly what he wanted from her. I don't know if she'll get a pardon out of this, but with the way things are going and the way they're hastily releasing these recordings with her, I think she has a great shot at getting a pardon from the president. I mean, this, like I said, this is exactly what they wanted from her. Why are they releasing these court recordings way quicker than any Epstein-related documents? No flight logs, no client list, thousands of hours of blackmail recorded within Epstein's estates. Those aren't coming out, but yet recordings and transcripts from a federal prison are being released only a month and a half later. It's interesting to me, to say the least, but unfortunately, it's another chess move from Trump and his administration. We've gone from denying the list even exists to like, hey, look at these transcripts from the person that we put into prison. This is exactly why they snuffed Epstein. Epstein would have revealed the truth. At the end of the day, when Rome was burning, Epstein would have easily told the truth about what was going down. They kept who they wanted in prison and alive because they knew they would need one of the two. And they went with Ghislaine. They knew she would play ball when it came down to it. And here she is. Here she is leading off the lineup. I mean, she's doing a bang-up job. She's really tying in all the loose ends for the release of the Epstein files. When they had the FBI clear Trump's name in all of these documents, it's going to line up perfectly for all of the recordings they're releasing regarding her interview with the DOJ. So it really works out for them. I'm honestly happy for them. I love a good blackmail scheme thrown under the rug successfully. Not just under the rug, but under the floorboards, under the foundation of the property. This is being swept away in immaculate fashion. I mean, I couldn't have done it better. You couldn't have done it better. Nobody could have did it better than Trump. So props to him. At least we have a president who could cover his tracks, even if they date back to 30 years ago. I mean, at least our president is competent. The interview with Maxwell was held across a 2-day period, with the administration weighing in August whether to release the audio file and transcript of the interview, senior administration officials previously told Fox Digital. Maxwell explained in her interviews that she first met Trump in the 90s through her father, saying Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me. Her quote continues, "And I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming the president now. And I like him, and I've always liked him. So that is the sum and substance of my entire relationship with him. He's just a stand-up guy. And I'm very proud of Trump. He made it to Prezi. I'm so proud of my big boy. He went from down in the dungeons, getting happy endings from kids, to becoming the president. What a success story. The 30 for 30 on Trump is going to be unreal." Inspirational, Trump is. As for Epstein's relationship with Trump, Maxwell says she only ever witnessed the pair interacting in social settings and that she was unsure how they struck up a friendly association. She just can't quite pin the tail on the donkey of how they struck up a friendly association. I don't know how me and Trump became friends. Maybe it was Robert Maxwell being longtime friends with Trump, having tremendous influence in the Israeli government. I don't know. I don't know what it was. You know who it all leads back to. I don't have to say it. The White House referred to Fox News Digital to Trump's public comments earlier when asked about the Maxwell interview drop. "Innocent people shouldn't be hurt, but I'm in support of keeping it totally open," Trump told the media Friday, of keeping the Epstein case open. "I couldn't care less. You got a lot of people that could be mentioned in those files that don't deserve to be people because he knew everybody in Palm Beach." Epstein knew every single person in Palm Beach. Every person with power, any person with wealth, any person with political ties, any person who deserved to have leverage on. He didn't know just everybody in Palm Beach. He knew the people he needed to know. I was in Palm Beach in the late 90s. I knew Epstein. If Mossad had a reason to know you and you were in Palm Beach, you knew Epstein. You didn't just know Epstein because you were in Palm Beach. Oh. After Trump's great success in Washington, D.C., this is greatly one of the things I agree with Trump on. One of the many things, honestly. Don't just take me as some guy who just bashes on Trump. Regardless of who the president is, I'm going to give him shit. We can't agree on everything. But when it's something like the Epstein files not being released after you campaigned on it, but I digress. I'm going to give the president shit. But this is one of the many things that I can agree with Trump on. Trump says he could send the National Guard to Maryland to address crime. President Donald Trump said Sunday that he would send the National Guard to Baltimore to, quote, quickly clean up the crime if Maryland Governor Wes Moore says he needs help. Moore had earlier invited Trump to attend a public safety walk in the crime-ridden city in September, saying in an August 21st letter that the event would provide an opportunity to discuss strategies for effective public safety policy. Trump says, as president, I would much prefer that he clean up this crime disaster before I go there for a walk. He accused Moore of having a poor record on crime, quote, unless he fudges his figures on crime like many of the other blue states are doing. Trump added that he did not appreciate the tone of Moore's invitation, but if Wes Moore needs help like Gavin Newsom did in L.A., I will send in the troops, which is being done in nearby D.C., and quickly clean up the crime, Trump wrote. He added that Baltimore ranks among the worst cities in the United States for crime and murder. I agree. I mean, I'm not even the president. I wouldn't just go walk the streets of Baltimore that weren't directly in a main street of expensive businesses to spend your money at. I mean, carjackings there happen in the middle of the day. There's barely a single redeeming quality about the city of Baltimore. It smells. It's trashy. And at 1 p.m., you could get shanked, shot, robbed. And why wouldn't you clean up the streets before you went and did a safety walk? I mean, if you go and listen to Wes Moore's invitation to Trump, it was condescending. It was hateful. It was aggressive. It was aggressive. I wouldn't accept someone's invitation to their house party if it came off as aggressive. Well, why would I go to that? Do a clean sweep of Baltimore, the same thing you did in D.C., and make it Charm City again, you know? Baltimore has had anything but charm for the past 30 years. Nobody wants to go to fucking Baltimore. I promise you, not even the Orioles. They hate playing there. Beautiful stadium, but once you step outside the stadium, it's pretty shitty. It's pretty fucking shitty. Wes Moore's office renewed calls for Trump to visit Baltimore in a statement to Fox News Digital, adding that the city has recorded its lowest homicide level in 50 years. Congratulations, Baltimore. We can't tell. Are they fudging the numbers? I'm not a data analyst. I haven't reviewed these statistics historically or currently. But even the people that have grown up in Baltimore in the most recent generation don't feel that Baltimore is this safe as it's been in the past 50 years. It's a dump, okay? It's a fucking dump. Westmore writes, "This is a president who would rather attack his country's largest cities from behind a desk than walk the streets with the people he represents. The president should join us in Baltimore because the blissful ignorance, tropes, and the 1980s scare tactics benefit no one. We need leaders who are there helping the people who are actually on the ground doing the work." Westmore, you're not even on the ground in Baltimore doing the work. No Democratic mayor of any of these major cities that have been struggling with violent crime for years are on the ground doing the work. They haven't done anything. In fact, they've requested the help from federal government in recent years when Trump was not in office, of course. Now that the government's doing something about the violence in these inner cities, these major cities, since Trump is in office doing it, now it's a problem. So the change has been necessary for years, but now it's a problem because Orange Man's in office. Orange Man bad. Okay. Trump's in office doing it. I hate it. If Trump's name's on it, I hate it. Now, this is aside from the federalization of any major cities' police departments, but ICE is finally getting a helping hand from the federal government in the National Guard. Trump mobilizing up to 1,700 National Guard troops in 19 states to widen crime and immigration crackdown. The Trump administration reportedly plans to mobilize up to 1,700 National Guard troops across 19 states in the coming weeks to support its immigration and anti-crime crackdowns, a dramatic expansion of the controversial operation that's seen federal agents and Guard troops carrying out activities across Washington, D.C. The troops, who will largely be activated across Republican-controlled states, will serve in support of the administration's immigration and customs enforcement operations, as well as other law enforcement priorities, according to comment from unnamed Pentagon officials and documents obtained by Fox News. The guardsmen assisting ICE will be carrying out tasks that may include personal data collection, fingerprinting, DNA swabbing, and photographing of personnel in ICE custody, an official told outlet. How could this be a bad thing? I mean, if they're doing what they're saying here, fingerprinting, DNA swabs, they can ensure that they're getting the right people out of the country. I believe it's as of 2023, it's over 14 million illegal immigrants in the country. And regardless of what job they hold, whether it's landscaping, construction, maids, serving food, cooking food, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're here in the country illegally, you must be removed from the country. I don't care if you're an upstanding person. I don't care if you're a stand-up guy. I don't care if you're just trying to raise a family. If you came to the country illegally, you broke the law before you even step foot on American soil. You came here illegally, you gotta go. There's countries that I can't visit as an American citizen without the proper paperwork. And even then, I must leave once my visa is expired, 90 days. These people are here even without a visa. You overstay your visa. You come without a visa. I'm sorry. You could be a Trump voting Christian. You gotta go. America is experiencing a dramatic downfall. Okay? We must trim the fat here. The fat being illegal immigrants, some of which benefit off of taxpayer money. Some may contribute to the tax revenue, but that's not the point. When your country is in shambles and can't take care of its own legal, natural-born citizens, you have to remove who's here illegally in order to continue to uplift the quality of life for Americans nationwide. There's just no way you can put a crutch under our country and managed to weeble wobble the problem of quality of life here when you have millions and millions of people who are not supposed to be here. I'm sorry if it's your dad and mom, your grandparents, they came here illegally. A lot of immigrants who came here legally would agree that they have to go. It's a spit in the face of people who went through the years long processes of becoming a citizen or getting a green card or getting that work visa. And they had to jump through so many holes to do so. And it's unfair. It's unfair to the people of America. It's unfair to the immigrants who came here legally. Frankly, I do not have any empathy for what's to come for illegal immigrants across these states. These deployments will take place across the following states: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Wyoming. Texas is reportedly slated to have the largest deployment, which is fair. They're right next to the border, right next to the southern border. So it's not just Mexicans being targeted here. I mean, there's illegal immigrants from all walks of life from across every country in the world. Again, it's people seeking a better, safer life for themselves, for their families, and I get it. But you have to come in the right way. It's just not, as much as I would love to leave America with the shit show that's going on here, I can't just go to another country illegally and start a life. So kudos to Pete Hegseth and deploying the military personnel necessary to assist ICE in the removal of illegal immigrants. It's long needed. This is the happiest I've been with an administration in terms of doing something about illegal immigration. It's a disease. Trump taps Airbnb co-founder as first government design head to lead huge web overhaul. President Trump has selected Airbnb co-founder Joe Gebbia to spearhead a new federal design overhaul aimed at making government websites both usable and beautiful. Awesome. Everybody loves an Airbnb, right? You love the cleaning fees. You love the hidden cameras. You love the insurity of the cleanliness. Now you get that same quality in your American government's websites. Amazing. Gebbia, who joined the Department of Government Efficiency earlier this year and also sits on the board of Tesla, said Saturday that he has been appointed to become the first chief design officer of the United States. I'm honored to be appointed by Trump as the first chief design officer of the United States of America, Gebbia said on X. My directive is to update today's government services to be as satisfying to use as the Apple Store. Beautifully designed, great user experience, run on modern software. An experience that projects a level of excellence for our nation and makes life less complicated for everyday Americans. Gebbia will lead the newly created National Design Studio, a temporary body Trump announced in an executive order Thursday. The studio will implement Trump's America by Design initiative meant to improve experiences for Americans by breathing new life into the design of sites where people interact with their government. Awesome. I mean, pretty soon you'll be able to rent out a room in the White House. You'll be able to Airbnb segments of the Capitol. You'll be able to pitch a tent right in some of our great monuments downtown. I mean, I fucking hate an Airbnb. I'd probably rather stay in a Super 8 than rent out someone's house. I mean, we have no idea what's been going on there. Yes, unforgivable things happen in a hotel room, but when I have to go through Airbnb and a third-party landlord, someone whose only contribution to society has been spiking up the cost of housing for the rest of us, fuck Airbnb. I hate this. Yes, the government needs an overhaul and design of its digital platforms, but gosh, you had to choose someone from Airbnb. I literally despise an Airbnb. But hey, at least now you might be able to rent out some space in the East Wing when the ballroom's finished. Maybe you can have your wedding reception there. All thanks to Joe Gebbia. He might have some extra fees added on when you go and book a room in the White House. But it'll be a beautiful wedding reception. I mean, all the gold that Trump's putting in the White House. I mean, this building's going to be able to conduct the most electricity. Like I said, might be some added fees when you book that wedding reception in the new ballroom in a couple years, but it will be seamless. It will be beautiful, usable, all thanks to Joe Gebbia and Airbnb. That's all I have for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys next week.